As always, when Jesus gets asked a question in the gospel, we are going to have a lesson. We are going to learn something. And as Jesus is wont to do, he answers the question as he desires to answer the question. Usually, you get a little more than you bargained for. The people, the Pharisees in the gospel today, are a good example of that. They come to Jesus and ask him this question because if you remember, in all the gospels that we've had over the last few weeks, they are testing him. They come not really wanting to know, but hoping, just hoping that he'll make some mistake so that they can literally nail him to a cross, as it will turn out. There were many commandments in the old law, nearly 600 of them, over 600 of them actually. Which commandment in the law is the greatest? Jesus actually dips back into the book of Deuteronomy and the book of Exodus and pulls two separate things out of the Old Testament and puts them together and makes a new law. Jesus, who is the Son of God, so he's speaking for his Father when he says to them, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." Wow. You shall love the Lord your God with your entire being. Everything. You will put God first before anything else, and that includes family. God first, and God always. First, in your heart, in my heart. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. I think we'll wait a moment. You kids are going to get two today. The second commandment is like that first commandment. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. This is a new command, and it's a new command with a new notion attached to it. In the old law, my neighbor was another Jew. It was another one of my faith. That one was neighbor to me. The others, as they were called in the first reading, are aliens. They're Gentiles, the Jews will call them. They are pagans. All of her neighbors. So the law, in the old law, commanded that I love my neighbor, meaning I love another person of my faith and of my race. As you know, because he tells us the story of the Good Samaritan, that Jesus will change that. He changes it to, whoever needs me is neighbor to me. Whoever needs me is neighbor to me. Regardless of race, color, creed, religion practiced, whether they hold to the same things I hold to or not. That person can be neighbor to me. You know, we hear these two commands a lot. And people, you can ask almost anybody who's a disciple of Jesus or trying to be a disciple of Jesus, what are the two great commandments? And they can rattle these off. And that's part of our problem. We can rattle them off. He's dead serious about them. The whole law and the prophets depend on these two commandments. Everything depends on these two commandments. Without these two commandments, in fact, I am not a disciple of Jesus. Did you notice what he didn't say? He didn't say, you shall like the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. You shall like your neighbor as yourself. He never uses the term. He says love. And it's repeated over and over again. And he gives us the definition of love when he says, no greater love can you have than you lay down your life for another. He's talking about sacrificial kind of love. It's a great challenge for us. Don't be frightened by these words. Rather, it should be for us an opportunity to look and to see how I'm loving. Do I love only those I like? Only those who are easy? Only those who are convenient? Only those who agree with me? Only those who think like I think? Only those who are of my faith? Oh, go on and on. I think Jesus stands inside our hearts at times like this and says, get bigger. Push the walls out. Get bigger. Love more generously. And that love means sacrificing yourself for the sake of another. We should be asking, is God really number one in my life? Do I put God above everything else? Is God part of every decision I make? Is God a part of every pain I find myself in? Every joy I find myself in? Is God part of that? Am I even conscious during the course of a day that God is to be the center of my entire life? Everything. All your heart, all your soul, all your mind. That's you, that's me. Everything. See, first, how can I make him more first? That's probably what all of us have to do. I have to do it. The older I get, the longer I live, the more I think of myself, I'm far away from God. Why didn't I wake up earlier that I should be doing this or that or the other thing or more, pulling God more into what's going on in my life? I think that's normal. Who's your neighbor who needs you? Lay down your life for them? Aren't they great questions? They're meant to be challenging questions. We give a lot of lip service about being disciples. He's serious about us living this law, these two laws. Loving, sacrificial love for God and for others, the others who are neighbor, the others who need us in their lives, whether we like them or not. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. You shall love your neighbor as yourself.